Crim here with a sort of update video, more or less me trying to figure out if I should even start pulling on new things, because they just announced this girl that we've all been anticipating, the It's Me girl, for a while. People didn't want to really talk about her much because they were afraid what would happen if they started leaking information about her. But from what I recall, she is a Pyro Polearm user, and it's really appropriate that she's being released with another Pyro Polearm user that's free to play. And also this guy who's amazing, and this guy who can be amazing. It's just, what is up with this support staff? I have no idea what's going on here. This guy is like constantly on banners. This guy not so much. She's, I don't know, man. She's just constantly on banners too. And let's look at this. So, where does it say? Yes, she's Pyro. It doesn't actually say right there she's a polearm user, though, but we know she's a polearm user. She's a Pyro one. That's the person who's supposed to get the Staff of Homa, because it's sort of designed for her setup. Her whole thing where she does more damage the lower her health is and all that stuff. It's interesting, to say the least, but I don't know if I'm even going to bother pulling for her, even though she is Zhongli's boss. And in a lot of ways, his big shield can keep her alive. All you'd have to do is do something silly like, let me demonstrate the easiest way to get her on point. If I can teleport and do all this stuff, we'll go here. This is a good spot to go to. Now, you might see me do something that I don't often do in any of the videos that I make, and that's dying. Because I have a tendency of having a big shield on me at all times, to where I play it super safe and never have to worry about anything. So we're going to use Zhongli as an example here because it seems appropriate. So we'll just fly over here, and this is absolutely one of the easiest ways to get the Staff of Homa and also the ghost girl on point. I need to look at her name. It's like Hu something? Hu Tao or something like that. I don't remember right off the top of my head. So go ahead and kill him. And just use your cheapest food. I've got this nasty food. And then just... there, you got a big shield. Make sure you don't have any healers up, and you have the maximum benefit. So that's how I would play her if I ever pulled her, but the odds are I'm never gonna get her. Not on that banner, at least. I'm gonna go into my wishes now, and that's because I've been spending everything on the staff. Now, you might notice the gems. So, the gems, if you were doing the lantern events, like not the one in-game, but out-of-game, the one that's the web browser thing, you've got a few days to claim 108 primogems. Yeah, that's it. If you've been doing them, you have to go to their website and you actually have to click the button that says the contest or whatever is over. For some reason, they don't automatically send them out. So they had 1 billion primogems that were divided up between all the players. People probably went there with their alternate accounts every single day. People that were doing rerolls did that every single day. And what ended up happening, the primogems that were supposed to be divvied out to all the players basically got reduced to a pitiful amount. But it's enough for not even one wish. So we're just going to go ahead and use that one wish on this to see if I can finally get the staff. Nope, just another debate club. Sad days. So it'll be a while before I can actually try to get that, and I only have a few days left on that, so that's fantastic. Let's go ahead and get him healed up a little bit. Yep. And she's going to be coming in to replace Kashing's banner, which honestly made no sense to even exist. I get it, it's for people who want Kashing, but here's the thing with Kashing's banner, and in general, Kashing, if I scroll down, is always on the banner. Just because you have a slightly higher chance to get her, it's not that big of a deal. She is always on these banners. If anything, it just chopped off some other 5-star that you could have potentially gotten and made it to where, hey, look, you can get Kashing for a higher rate. I mean, if you go over here into the details on this side and scroll down if we can. So over here, this is what the 5-star thing normally looks like. Now this right here, these two rotate to like the last one, so the Staff of Homa should be on this whenever this is over with. And it would still be these 4, or sorry, these 5. I keep on forgetting that Jean's a 5-star because I never see her. And all the weapons. This is actually where I've gotten most of my weapons, other than that one staff. I'm starting to think that it's better just to wish on the weapon banners, just in general, for me, because, well, the weapons are somewhat nice, especially these lithic weapons. These lithic weapons are really nice for what they do. And it's easier to level up a 5-star and a 4-star weapon than it is to level up yet another character, because I've got a lot of characters. I've got all of the 4-star characters, and I somehow managed to squeeze by 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I have any more? 4 5-stars. And of the 5 stars I use, I don't really use Albedo anymore unless I absolutely have to. It's just because it was a pain to level him up with everything else going on. I could probably actually sort him out now, but my main focus so long has been Xiao, and that's just because this guy is a monster. I went ahead and leveled up his weapon too, just because I had it, and I started looking at it and started playing with it, and actually was really good. In fact, I might swap this over to someone else at some point, but the point is, I've got a lot of polearms, and this polearm is really nice. So I've been using that on him. His artifacts are trash. Just pure trash. I was just getting the anima bonus and also this. I could go for the swirl, but a lot of enemies with him, they kind of ignore the swirl. He doesn't have enough swirl. It's not like Sucrose that's constantly swirling the enemies, and I need to change her stuff out too. And talent-wise, I've been working on him, but I'm kind of lost because the sassy child, I need more of his stuff to increase any of these. So it's a process. It's a long process, but he is a monster, and I enjoy that. I haven't really had to put any effort into making him a monster either, unlike Zhongli, who, honestly, he took almost all of my resources to build up. He was so hard to make good at the time. I mean, ever since the buff, he's a little bit better. Just a little bit, though. I don't really see much of the benefits still. And that might just be how I'm playing him. I don't even have to do that guy anymore. He's worthless. His drops basically are only for Xiao, and I've already gotten all of Xiao's stuff. And Ghost Girl, I really don't know where she would belong on a team either. She's a DPS character, so I guess what I'd end up doing is dropping Xiao, who I've already built up, and replacing him with her. I wouldn't be allowed to have any healers at all on the team, so that would be a thing. So I guess I'd have to focus more on support for her, like having it to where I have the elemental mastery stuff going on. I don't know. It's a weird character, and then you have to wonder, well, is she even worth having on the field by herself anyway? Because let me demonstrate something. Even though Xiao has a big shield, like one of the biggest shields I can make right now, unless I get the artifact. I could make his shield bigger if I get the artifacts from the Geo thing, and make it to where it increases his shield strength from, like, what, 45%? I forget what the artifact does. I could do that to make him even tankier, but it doesn't really matter at this point anyway. Let me grab these little... Or I'll just completely whiff it. Okay. Yeah, okay, whatever. 1 thorax or whatever, 1 crystal core. 2 is good enough for now. Let me go ahead and get over here and I'll cut so you don't have to see me running. Alright, we're here, and I guess it's time to show you... let's go ahead and heal up, just so I can potentially... Okay, yeah, that's expired, good for that. So I can potentially survive this. Where is good food? I like these. These are pretty good. Just go ahead and eat up. There we go. And before I forget, because I was just talking about the artifacts, I'm talking about the artifacts over here. And I believe it is this one. So yeah, shield strength by 35. And this one's actually pretty good for other characters. If you're pairing them with someone like Zhongli, and you have no idea what artifacts to give them, because of the second perk. While protected by a shield, gain an additional 40% normal and charged attack damage. So that's actually what I put on Kashing, because I was getting tired of her electro stuff not always working. And I just wanted to make it to where she was, you know, somewhat usable in all content. So let's go ahead and get all these guys awake, and I'll show you what I mean by survivability. Come on, get up, get up, get up. It takes them a while. So they're going to go ahead and start shooting me with missiles. And I can survive that entire wave of missiles just fine. But let's see if they can do a spin attack. Maybe I can convince them. Come on, do your spin attacks. You're wasting my time now. Not that spin attack. Ah, man, you're all showing me that you really, really don't care about actually hurting me. Ah. This is kind of disproving the point that I had, but then again, Zhongli has the biggest shield in the entire game. That's basically what he is. And a lot of people were complaining, saying, oh, you need to stop using Xiao as a shield guy. And it's like, oh, hold on, my shield broke on that. Complaining that I'm using Xiao for his shield, but it's like, well, what do you expect me to do? He's got a big shield. He's got a really big shield. It's really nice. And I'll play my character however I want to play him. If you want to play him a different way, then by all means, play him a different way. I don't really care. Yeah. So the point is that these guys who are level 92, they still have a chance to break my shield with one of their basic attacks. It takes them a while. It takes them a long while, but let's go ahead and finish these guys off. So do the jump, do the pound, do this, and we're just going to go to town. Already broke my shield. Oh, yep, and I'm dead. And that's exactly what would have happened with the other girl. The one that has, like, no health to begin with. She would go in there, she would pop her things, do all her stuff, and unless she is heavily, heavily protected with something like that one artifact I showed just a second ago where it increases the shield strength, she would get completely wrecked by pretty much all the content, and she would be going in there without a big shield, likely. Because, well, good luck pairing her with a character like Zhongli, who you might not have anymore because of his limited time banner. These guys are really annoying. Stop you spinning already, I get it, you can spin for wins, but I really don't care, man. I need to get his health back up so I can actually do something. Oh, come on. You're so easy normally, stop wasting my time. Maybe it's because I brought the wrong team for this. Probably. Doesn't really matter, though. Zhongli can take care of him himself because he can just survive all the damage. Now, this might seem like I'm rambling, and I kind of am because, well, I don't really know what to say about this. The Lantern Rite is over, and one of the best characters I feel in the game is now gone for a while. And I also don't know, is the Lantern Rite going to happen every single year? Because it is an annual thing, right? So, does that mean that we only get like one shot every year to maybe get Xiao? I don't know. Anyway, that was pretty easy, but only because of Zhongli. I could do that with another team entirely, but the point was that, let's just imagine that Xiao is the new character that's coming out. What's her name? I have to actually look at her name, otherwise I won't be able to pronounce it correctly. Hu Tao? Yeah, let's imagine that this is Hu Tao. The shield broke almost immediately when I had swapped over to Xiao. And it wasn't that the shield was weak or anything like that, it's because the shield has such a small timer on it, and taking damage and all that stuff will beat it up. And Xiao has a lot of defense. Like, for some reason they scaled him with defense for no reason, because none of his actual abilities scale with defense. It's just to keep him alive a little bit longer. And I don't think that girl actually does that. I think she's scaled for attack to be like a super glass cannon. So she might go in there and do her one pop, and then immediately get slapped, and that's it. So I don't really know what to do with her. At least with the staff, I can see a use, because I can just give it to Xiao, and he's just good. He's just good, that's it. Because he can just keep his shield up permanently if he's on the field by himself. And he can just be a main DPS with everyone else there as support. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. The other thing I was going to say is, as far as me pulling on him, I don't know if I want to pull on him, because let's look at the constellations. I would be dangerously close to maxing him out, and I don't really care about doing that. And, well, not the same for her. I don't really use her as much as I used to, just because I have so many other options. And as for Chungus, notice he's still, what, level 20? And I only got him to level 20 so I could get this. Chungus is not a character I use. Not on this account, not on my off accounts. It's just not a playstyle I enjoy because of how slow he is. He's a good character for a lot of people, just not for me. So if I'm getting constellations for him, I don't know. I don't think that would be worthwhile for me. I mean, this one's pretty good, I guess. The biggest problem with Chungus is he converts everyone's damage type to his damage type while they're fighting in that field. And you have to fight in that field in order to get this and all the other stuff. And it's just like, why even bother? He's good. He is good in those rare situations. But I'd actually rather have Kaya for his ability. The one that has the cyclone around him, because it's really fast charging. And you don't have to worry about, well, constantly using the character to do the thing, because his field does not last long. And I know I don't have it up very high, but it doesn't last very long at all. While his recharges extremely fast, and it's just good. It's just really good, especially when you combine it with the Pyronado or whatever. To where you can constantly inflict melt and freeze at the same time. And anyway, this is kind of a ramble video. I didn't really know what to make about it. I just was talking about pulls. And if you feel like it is in your best interest to pull for her, then by all means. But just know, you will have a very hard time keeping her alive if you actually want to use her. So my best advice for using her, don't go into her thinking that you have to have her on low HP to use her. Just let the low HP come to you as you're doing it. Like, don't intentionally lower their HP then go into a fight. That seems extremely stupid, because you're going to get to that point regardless of the fight. And go ahead and have some healers and just use them as a suboptimal DPS that goes up and down depending on the situations. And make sure to throw stuff on her like the Berserker artifacts or whatever. Stuff that actually benefits from having low HP. And I know Berserker artifacts are not that worthwhile because, well, they haven't actually updated them to be useful in later contents. Well, they are useful, but they're not 5-star useful. Like, let's see, can I find... this is Adventurers. Where's the Berserkers? Is this the yeah, the Berserkers. You see, they only go up to the 4. There's no gold around them. There's no extra abilities, so if you're using these... I mean, they're useful for the crit rate increase and all that stuff, but I don't know. I feel like you're wasting too many stats by not going for the big routes if you can do it. Now, if you pull her and you're on, like, a low account, one that doesn't actually have much stuff going on, someone that's, like, world rank 3 or 4 or whatever, Berserkers is the way to go for you. Now, this is Crim signing out. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the episode, whatever episode this happened to be, because it's kind of a rambling video about pulls and such. And I'll see you next time with whatever I can figure out what to make.